All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing morning so far, and hope you had an amazing day yesterday. So, welcome to the pre-market show. Norm, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. Yourself?
Doing good, excellent. All right, guys. So let's get
All
to it.
right.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market
Nice.
show. Let's turn that off. Here we go. All right, so we had a very great day yesterday. A lot of stuff moving nicely. Not Baba, not this one up here right now. So we'll go over our top plays and highlights and see what did very well. This one, guys, just looking at it right here was very choppy. I was looking at this at the open as well, and it did not look clean. Again, Baba could be tough to trade if it's not really in play. So again, very tough to trade yesterday. It did have a great pre-market activity, as you can see here, but then the open was just very, very brutal. DPC, guys, was amazing, but again, it was tough to get into this trade because they had a call at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. They had a call on here. You could see that some of the volume started to pick up. But I guess whatever they said turned out pretty well. This thing was gapping down, and it came right back up. Blew through, went red to green, and then there was a consolidation on the daily chart that you can see that it just blew right by that and never looked back, hitting all the way up to 260, almost 260 there. So again, pretty strong move on DPZ here. Again, it's unexpected because it had a call at 10 and out of nowhere it just starts taking off here nicely. The open was a bit choppy as we expected. A lot of people were probably going to wait to see what went on in this call. But once that call started going, looks like everything that was said there was very well received. Here's Amba, guys. Here's one that was very exciting to watch. Unfortunately, if you waited for a 5 minute on this or even 2 or 3 minutes on this, it probably would have been too late to get in here because it got so extended right off that second minute, just took off. So this could have been great for a scalp if you traded a 2 minute open range breakup. Down in this area here, quickly get in and take advantage of this amazing move. So again, that was Amba. Then after that, it kind of does like an M top up here, and it just from there just gets very choppy. It was very difficult to trade. I'm sure a lot of people were waiting for this to break out again. It eventually did towards the end of the day, but again, here you got a nice little fake out. It looks like it's about to break out over the highs and just comes right back down towards the bottom. We had Apple also on watch, and look at this, guys. Apple was just brutal. I mean, this thing is wow, this is probably the worst we've seen Apple trade at the open in a very long time. Trades a lot better than this. Had a nice little pop here. They kind of got really choppy in this area, so not clean at all. And as you know, guys, when the Fed was talking as well, and this is when things started to actually get going a little bit. I think it was around 1 o'clock or so, maybe 2 o'clock, where the speeches started. And you can see here that caused some movements as well, but a lot better than what it had for the first part of the morning, which is extreme choppiness there. Nvidia, guys, was very nice opening range breakdown on Nvidia. Just take a look at this here. Beautiful range here at the bottom. Comes back up. You get a very deep pullback here. Then here's your entry for a short. Once this pullback is confirmed on the 1 minute, you could fine tune even a better entry right on there. For the bottom, and it writes down this 9 EMA, just lovely. Finds the bottom pretty early on. Found a real nice base right here at around 10 o'clock. Just found the base and eventually bounced back towards the VWAP. But again, this was the move here in Nvidia. Very clean short towards the bottom. Roku, on the other hand, not as clean, but eventually after 11 o'clock, this settled down a little bit, found the base here towards around the low of the day, around 105, and then from there bounced up all the way to 105, 108.50. So again, if you were patient on this one, you had a nice little wave up and down here, and eventually took off nicely towards the top. Here we have here are some possibles. I'm not going to go through these here because again, I don't think they did much, but again, these here were the ones that were trading very well. Again, Baba not as clean, but some other ones like Nvidia traded very nice in Amba as well if you caught that first opening range breakup. All right, guys, let's look at the SPY. Let's see what we got going on there. Norm, what's happening today and for the rest of the week?
Yeah, so SPY is up close to 1%. It was up right at, I think, 1% earlier. Yesterday, obviously, like you said, Jay Powell spoke in the afternoon. That kind of sent markets a little bit haywire. And then this morning, there's news that there was also some trade news going back and forth. We spoke about the blacklisting of U.S. companies, Chinese retaliation, and such yesterday. So it was negative trade news. Then this morning, we wake up to reports that the Chinese are interested in some sort of a middle of the ground trade agreement. So anyway, just kind of the same old that you and I have been discussing in this show as long as we've been doing it. So once again, it's spiking back up just over 2,900, and that puts SPY at 290-ish. VIX is down 5% this morning so far. We'll see what the day brings to us. kind of quiet other than that. Yesterday was pretty choppy at the open. I know, a number of people had a hard time trading it, but earnings start in earnest next week, and we should get some nice movement for them. October's known for having good moves based on earnings.
Yeah, excellent. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Do have a few things going on. Job openings, wholesale inventories come out later today at 10 a.m. Eastern. Jay Powell will be speaking again today at another conference, and then the Fed minutes will come out at 2 p.m. Eastern from the last meeting from their last rate policy decision meeting.
Okay, excellent. All right, guys. So let's see what we have in our gappers list. Not much right now on there, so we'll just go through it and see what we can find that looks good. I'm sure we'll get something today. Did not know the Fed was talking today, so that could be also another choppy day. Just got to be careful. Just make sure you wait that 5 minutes before you jump in on something. Wait the market to give you a somewhat of a direction. So here we have Roku, guys. Roku is up 3.6. Again, definitely found this base down here on 98.74. Could not break below that, and now we're getting a bounce back. So this is looking nice today. Norm, aside from just technicals alone, is there any specific news for Roku that's causing this pop?
I have not seen it. I have not had a chance to dig into Roku. I'm going a little bit behind this morning. I believe they got an upgrade,
Okay.
but I don't have specific details on it.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's definitely causing a nice little pop here today. Again, breaking out of, we basically are in an area of a range, right? So once we had these several drops, not just one, we had several, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4 big drops. Then we just kind of got stuck within this area. And then within this area, guys, we got a lot of great trades during the intraday on these days, right? It's a great movement. We're going from 98 all the way up to, this is 110 or so, 109. So again, right there, there's a lot of great movements within that area. Now we're breaking out at the top of that consolidation. We're right on it. And if we go back a little bit, you can see here, again, we have a nice little gap. So again, Roku is nice with an upgrade. Definitely one we want to keep an eye on this morning. See if we can get going, start closing some of this gap and getting towards these levels over here. I think that'll be great to have on watch. Next, we have DBVT, and this one here is down 4% at the moment. 297,000 shares traded, so that looks good. Daily looks interesting. Seems to be a little bit
this
choppy.
This one is a foreign stock. It's a biotech out of France. It's only got a 37 million share float, and it's down on new. And actually, TI says 28 million, 29 million, and it's down on news of a secondary offering. So this isn't something I'll be keeping on my list.
Yeah, 28. It's not low flow, but it's on the lower side. And if it's forming on top of that, and look at this daily chart, it's not as clean. And you can tell already, but even by the pre-market activity, it's just not looking all that clean as well. So let's see what else we have, guys. Let's go into NASDAQ Active. TVIX is up here. Not doing much. It's got some volume. It's down to 5.6, but again, nothing too crazy as of now. This is something you want to trade, on a scalping strategy, depending on how the market is doing. So you don't want to watch it on your main list just yet. OCGN, this one is on here, up 28%, 887,000 shares traded. But look at this. I mean, look at this thing. This thing gapped up a couple of days ago at $8, and it just dropped down right back down to 2 or 3. So this is something you want to stay away from. It's a lot of nonsense going on there, looks like. Let's check what's the float just for curiosity. Here the 10 million shares flow. It is a low flow. Again, if you are into trading low flows, this is one that looks very active, but again, just be very cautious, because just look at the daily, right? This is something scary, nothing to be playing around with. So, but OCGN, overall, the pre-market activity looks somewhat okay. Got some volume, but again, this is very scary here. All right, so let's head over to, let's get this D out of the way here. AMD is on here. So AMD, how is AMD trading in the intraday? Let's just go back. Has anybody traded AMD lately? I haven't been looking at it, but oh man, nice drop. So again, just kind of pretty much following what the markets are doing. Beautiful drop here on AMD. Nice engulfing pattern yesterday. Again, and the daily hasn't been looking all that well. So on a day like today, there's not a lot on our gappers list. It could be a day where we watch AMD and MU. So let's throw those on there.
AMD was actually on our gappers list just a few minutes ago. It dropped
Oh, it
off. It
did?
went
Okay.
back under 2%. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's got some volume today. I mean, the daily's just been so bad compared to what we used to see on AMD. But again, on a day like today, we can definitely take a look at it. Doesn't mean we have to trade it, guys, if it does not give us an opportunity. But you want to fill your list if you can, right? Up to 5, 6, whatever the number of stocks you're watching. There's no magic number, that's for sure. MU also, guys, looking pretty flat at the moment, which is typical of MU. But this one has been having a lot more fun in the last couple of days after this drop here on earnings. Their days seem to be a lot cleaner than AMD has had, so we'll keep that on there just for now. We got some Nasdaq ETFs on there. We'll skip those. ADXS, also another really bad one, penny stocks. Nasdaq ETF, DBVT also on here. We have it already. Again, not the best stock to trade. It's a foreign stock, doesn't trade very well, but we'll keep an eye on it just in case anything exciting happens. Apple, although Apple had such a bad open yesterday, such a bad half of the morning. I mean, it was just chopping around nasty. It is still something you want to watch, guys. We're at an area where, again, we left the prior consolidation range we had, right? And we might be building another one here, hopefully, and then hopefully get a crack at this 230 again. And once it gets going, you know, if the markets play nice today, it can be a good opportunity to play for a long here. Again, I think Apple's just very strong. The last couple of months, look at this, going from all the way from 170 up to 226. So it's clearly on an uptrend. You're getting some nastiness here based on just, you know, the volatility of the market and the way things are been. Every time some news comes out, you get these crazy whipsaw-like actions on the daily. But overall, this is one you want to watch today. 296,000 so far, up 1%. Pre-market activity a little bit flat. Hopefully we can get something going there. Next we have Roku. I already have Roku. I already have Roku up here, one you definitely want to watch. Now over to Nasdaq gains, OCGN. We have AOBC, nothing going on there, no volume. PHCF, just brutal. RYAAY, that's also not looking great, no volume. ZYN, same situation. PANL, nothing. Here we go, nothing good there. FEYE, we have traded this one in the past. We definitely have looked at it, but today's not doing much, no volume. GALT, also not looking great. Mankind here, this one is not doing anything. GOGL, this one here also not looking great. Looks like a foreign stock as well, so nothing good on that area. Folks, what do you guys like? Norm, what do you like this morning?
Not a whole lot. And I had it in my notes and I forgot to mention it earlier. Somebody mentioned it on YouTube. Today is Yom Kippur, Jewish holiday. Mm-hmm. So just like we had a couple of weeks ago with Rosh Hashanah, probably has some light volume today.
Yep. I would expect that as well. Go ahead.
So thank you for Mike. Thank you for the reminder on that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely going to cause some missing volume this morning. And we got the Fed talking today as well, you mentioned. So that also adds on to the
yeah. I mean, it's not a real big. It's just on a panel. I mean, it's not uncommon for them to do that stuff. It's usually not massive market changing discussions. It's not, this isn't them releasing minutes or anything like that, but it's just out there. I doubt anything crazy will change from what he spoke about yesterday.
Gotcha. All right, so let's see what we have here. So let's start checking the chat, see what you guys got this morning. So SDC, this is a recent IPO. I remember seeing this yesterday because it had dropped quite a bit here, making a new low. Since obviously not much information on there, so you could see a continuation play today. I usually try to stay away from stuff that's just opened up, that's just IPO'd. This one we actually have shares for short, which usually is not the case on these recent IPOs. It's a little bit tougher to find shares for short, especially when they're selling down like this. So it could be interesting. It could be a possible. Right now, volume, it's going to hit our scanners anyway in a few minutes. Volume is 91,000 at the moment. It is. Wait, this one is up 3%. Yes, up 3%. So it could be a good possible. But again, I'm a little hesitant to trade these stocks that doesn't have a lot of history on it and ways to find levels. So we'll see what that does this morning. William L is giving us MBT. MBT. See what's going on here. Former. Our stock in play, as you can see some levels on here. So this is up quite a bit, 5.5, 790.69. It must not be hitting our scanners because of the ATR. Let's just double check here. The ATR is very low, 15 cents on the ATR, so not a big mover. Very high flow, 564 million. But again, in the pre-market activity too, guys, not looking all that great. There must be some block trades in here because I'm not seeing that volume here in the 5-minute. Does not look clean at all. So again, daily, I see you're looking at the daily. Look, it could be a possible. We'll throw it down here. Down here, we have traded this one in the past before, but again, not looking all that great. Next one we have OILU, and then we'll look at ULT. So OILU. Okay, so this one, is this oil? Is this what this is? Yeah, so this is crude oil. So I don't really trade these guys. They are tradable, but I don't really set these on my watch list, right? Because a lot depends on the market. You gotta, I think, aside from technicals, you do have to have some kind of fundamental on this, right? And we focus more on technical trades. Same thing with UWT. Same here. Again, you have to have some kind of fundamentals of what's going on, not just trying to take an ABCD pattern of these type of tickers. So just be careful with that. IRBT. This one is iRobot. That's a nice drop today, 6%. Doesn't have much volume at the moment, but this thing been on a beautiful downtrend since July, right? Kind of topped off here, consolidated, and then nice little gap, and then right back down. So this is, yeah, this could be interesting. Not great volume right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say they've got very heavy short volume at around 33%, I believe. They got a downgrade this morning, which is causing that, but they've been downgraded and hit by, you know, the short sell research firms. This was a target of one of them a couple of years ago. I think it was Spruce Point put a hit piece out on them.
Yeah, no, this thing has been definitely on a tear towards the downside. So yeah, we keep an eye on it. That daily is definitely interesting. We got to get some action going in the pre-market for that one. Let's look at J&J, see what we have going on there. So Johnson & Johnson, this one is tough to trade, guys. We traded last time when all the news came out about the powder and the gap and this and that. But again, it's very tough to trade, even when it's in play. Right now, it doesn't have great volume. The daily charter has a nice little gap down here. But again, just look at the daily, how erratic this is and how tough it is to find levels and all of that. So we can throw it on here, see if we get anything more out of this. But right now, it's not looking great at all. At the moment. AAL, this one we have traded in the past. We have some levels on here. Not much activity right now, guys. Very light on the volume, which again, it could be that type of day where the volume is very light. So we really have to wait and see how the markets are going to open up. Because when you have light volume, what can happen is you can get chopped up pretty easy because things can be very choppy, right? You need the volume to take the stock into one direction, and we want to join the party in that direction, right? So that is the goal here. All right, so SDC we have. Let's look at BABA. Possible continuation play on BABA, right? So again, this one gap down, kind of sold off a little bit more, found the area of support in this range over here. Not doing much right now, and again, it was so choppy yesterday, so you gotta be careful with this one today. Next we have QGen. What did QGen end up doing? Yeah, this one was in play yesterday because it had gap down big. Right now, this is a foreign stock. We spoke about it yesterday. It traded okay, right? The drop was okay, but you look at it's not as clean, right? And this is what you get from these foreign stocks, right? So again, dropping another 2.4 this morning. Not great volume just yet. Again, if you're comfortable trading these stocks, they are tradable. You could definitely catch a continuation move here. But just be aware that it's a foreign stock. You want to be careful with the number of shares you take because it could be very spready. And also the moves, it can take you all day to get a move. Although yesterday morning you got a nice move off the bat pretty fast. Then from there just kind of went chopping around. So usually this is what you get on these foreign stocks. Depending on the news, this one can be going a little more than usual. Next we have ARD. ARD, a nice big drop here. So ARD we have down 1.7. Not a lot of volume, right? Very light on the volume. We have traded this one before in the past. But again, just not a lot to go off at the moment for what we're looking for the open. Let's look at JOLTS. JOLTS. Let's see here. Oh, that's not a ticker. Just double check that one. FRO. FRO. Not a lot of volume in FRO. Also looks foreign just based on what I'm seeing here. Could be. There's a lot of gaps between the days. Doesn't have a clean daily chart. Levi, yeah, so somebody mentioned Levi earlier today also in our chat, and I think they have some earnings today. Yeah, Levi, it's Again, not much going on, but we can keep it on here for a possible play if they have earnings. But again, I don't see anything great on it right now.
Yeah, Levi's a recent IPO, and I've tried to trade it
Mm-hmm.
once or twice since an IPO, and it just hasn't played nicely with me.
Yeah, I haven't had any luck with Levi neither, so I haven't really touched it. FYFE, we looked at this one earlier, guys. It doesn't have the volume right now. Again, it doesn't trade very well neither. We traded on this gap, and this gap down there was really in play. I don't think today is anything special about it. And again, without the volume, it's going to be tough to say what we can get out of this one at the moment. You do have an area where it's trying to break out of here, so you do have a resistance right on here. Was the high from yesterday and a couple of days ago. You had a high here also, and it looks like last week it tried to break out of it, came back down. So it's in a very interesting area. If you can get going, possibly test this 15 up here. But again, it's just I'm not seeing great stuff out of that right now in the pre-market activity. And IRB we looked at earlier, we have it here actually, IRBT. This one again doesn't have the volume. I do like the drop down 6%, but again just doesn't have the volume at the moment. All right, so what else we have? SDC, Levi, we have ALL. Did we look at A? I don't think we looked at this one. So American Airlines, what's going on American Airlines? No volume yet, but American Airlines Group estimate cancellation of flight 730. Yeah, that should be built in here, right? So I'm not sure how much action you're going to get out of that because that's old news, and all the airlines that had that problem took their hit already. So unless anything major, I'm not sure how much that's going to affect it, right? But we do have it on here. We'll have to wait for this one to hit our scanners. Doesn't have great volume right now. The daily looks interesting. We do have an area where it's clear support. Bounce off of that back in end of August and the beginning of this month as well. So we got an area of support there. We'll have to see how that news reacts, right? But again, not seeing all that great action at the moment. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. We'll do a few more, then we'll get into announcements, and then we'll start going into these levels. We'll see if anything else comes up in our gappers list, but clearly you could tell the volume seems to be a little bit light this morning as expected. NVIDIA's in the same situation as Apple, guys. It's one of those stocks that you want to watch. Again, it's been pretty strong over since August, right? Had this drop here, kind of bounced back from that. But if you go back on the bigger time frame, it has been an uptrend, right? Had a little hit right here, but it came right back up and made a new range of consolidation on here around 173. The SPY has to do a lot with some of these nasty candles you're seeing here, nasty daily ranges with all the volatility that we're getting. But this is one that if it can break out, I think could be a nice one to trade. It traded nice yesterday as well. The intraday, although it's a nasty daily, the intraday has some really good moves that are tradable. Opening range breakdown yesterday was perfect. It ran down pretty nice, found the bottom, and then was able to bounce back and get to VWAP. So definitely one we could watch. We could throw it on here for not a possible one that it's like an Apple. You can definitely keep an eye on that one this morning. All right, so that is what we have so far, guys. Let's get over to announcements. And if you guys see something that looks good, especially with volume, because right now we're missing volume, right? We have a bunch of stocks here that have somewhat of a decent daily chart, but we're not getting that nice volume at the moment. So let's get over to some announcements. I'll let my man Norm take it away here.
Yeah, Carlos. So DAS's number one best trader competition ends next week. I believe Tuesday is the 15th. Good luck to anybody participating in that. We've got a pretty good representation over there. You can check out the live leaderboard at onebesttrader.com. Pairwell Traders is honored to have been nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards in the Best Financial Literacy Tool category. We're on the final push on this. Voting lasts about another week or so. So we sincerely appreciate it if you enjoy the content that we put out, either as part of the chat room or for free on YouTube. We appreciate your vote. Takes about 2 seconds if you click Abil's link that he'll throw up both in the room and in YouTube. And you can vote one time per day per device. Then meetups coming up. St. Louis, October 19th. You have William and Kurt there. San Diego, Trade Ideas, October 26th. Andrew will be speaking on the TI conference panel. So that will be, that conference is really very, very good and informative. If you live in the area around San Diego, or you can make it out there and maybe even combine a vacation in America's finest city, then I highly suggest it. If you cannot make it out, they do stream the conference live. So I would highly suggest watching that. I actually, when they did it last year, spent my Saturday watching that stream conference, and well worth the time I put into it. Clearwater Beach, Florida meetup, November 16th. More details to come as we get closer. Lifetime membership. A lot of you guys probably have already seen Andrew's email that he sent out last night talking about, current market sentiment, Jay Powell's speech yesterday, a number of other things, and running the promo recession is the promo code. Let's hope it's wrong for all of our 401ks. But either way, as traders, and that was the point of his email, we make money up, we make money down. So promo code recession, 30% off lifetime membership. And any feedback you guys can give to us, shoot me an email, norm@bearbulltraders.com. We're thinking about putting out more info like that in email. We're always hesitant to send out a ton of emails because we don't want people to get spammed, feel like they're spammed. There's a fine line, and we want to put out informative stuff. So anyway, you can email me or direct message me any feedback you have on that. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube and you would like to try the chat room for a week, you can use the promo code it's pre-market 24 to try the chat room for a week, pre-market 24, and it does not auto-renew, does not turn into another membership. Also, if you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever we go live at the pre-market show, Williams Trade Reviews, things of that nature, or if we put out any new interviews or content. As far as we supporting Traders for a Cause, their big event kicks off tomorrow. If you would like to go, you can get a ticket. It's in Las Vegas. Goes tomorrow through Sunday. Use the promo code BearbullVIP. Save $250 off your ticket. That's it.
All right, excellent. All right, let's see what we have here. So if you guys see anything that looks great, guys, with some volume, definitely call it out. We'll definitely do some more after we get through these support and resistance levels of what we have right now. So Roku, we definitely like. I think Roku is one we have to keep an eye on. It's got some decent volume, 285,000. I think we're gonna get a lot of movements out of this, especially with the upgrade they received this morning. Thank you guys for that information. Let's look at some levels. So clearly we have this beautiful gap up right here at 117.75, right? And we're slightly trying to clear this last level of resistance up here, going back to this area 113.41. So I want to mark that down because I think that's the next level of possible resistance if we can, get above the high of the pre-market, which is also sitting right at an area where this was right here, right on this date. You can see that level as well of resistance there after the day of the big drop. So we can mark down the high of the pre-market sitting on 112.65. It should be very close to that day there. Yep, right on it actually. So that's good. Then above that, I think 113.41 is going to be interesting because that's up here. You don't have anything else besides all the way up here where you have this moving average around 130. You will have some resistance on the way up here. I don't think we're going to get a move or we're going to bounce all the way back to start closing the drop of this date, right? That's a big move up. We're going to need a lot of help to get that done. So towards the bottom, guys, you have plenty of levels and moving averages and things like that. You don't need to add any more down here, I think, because it's been consolidating over the last couple of days between this 105 and 108 8-ish area. You have the highs and lows of the last two trading days and the previous day close. So towards the bottom, you're good. I think two significant things are gonna be here. Is it's gonna be the high of the pre-market and also this 113.41. I think some people are going to be looking for that. And then you have the close of the gap, which is this 117.75. So I think that's plenty for Roku. DB, VT, guys, I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one. It's starting to put a pretty decent pre-market activity, but I know this stock doesn't trade very well. So that's an issue there for me. So let's do some levels, and given how the day turns out, we can probably tune into it and see if we can get anything out of it. But I don't have high hopes for this one at all. So low of the pre-market sitting at 164. Your high sitting at 715, and then above that you got plenty of highs and lows and previous day close on the way up there. And then towards the bottom, what do we have towards the bottom here? I don't think we have much. Yeah, so not much towards the bottom. Again, daily. The more I look at the daily, the nastier it actually looks. So again, I'm not inclined to keep this one on here. But you know, we'll put some levels on there. 584 looks like a good one down here as well. Find an area of support in here, and then towards the bottom, you got an area consolidation at 640 right in here and these two areas. So this is a one that might not make the final list, but we have our levels ready just in case. Let's look at AMD. AMD is just trading very nasty during the daily chart. We are stuck between more levels of consolidation, highs and lows from the last two trading days and previous day close. So right in here, you don't want to add more on here. And the fact that the daily chart has been so nasty, there's really no recent clean levels. I mean, look at these candles, right? There's just not clean at all. So we'll just keep that the way it is. The only level you possibly want to add to here is maybe the low of the pre-market at 28.42. That's probably the only one you want to add on there. Leave the rest alone. We need it to break out of this and hopefully give us a good opportunity. Towards the bottom, if it can break down below 20, the low of yesterday, another great opportunity will be down here, down to 27.44. So that's you got a moving average on there. You also got a nice little bounce off that moving average. Next we have MU. MU has a better daily chart, but not a great pre-market activity, which is normal for this type of stock. We always notice that it doesn't trade very well in the pre-market unless some serious news and it's in play like it was on this day here. So 41.80 is a bottom down here. We have some support below the price action now at 43.23. We do have previous day close and low of yesterday, both on that same price, so that's good. And then above that, you have the highs and lows from the last two trading days right on there. The only one you should probably could mark is just probably the high of the pre-market. But again, if you look at this pre-market activity, it's not all that great. So not too much going on there for MU. Let's look at Apple. So Apple is again, Apple is gonna be fun to watch because again, I think they're very strong, and I think they're gonna want to take a crack at this 230 one more time. Now, same situation as AMD. They're in a situation of a lot of consolidation. So you have your highs and lows from the last two trading days all in here, right? You have 230, you have 228. Your high of your pre-market, it's right between these levels. I'm not going to mark that down. And you also have 225, and your previous day closed at 224.40. So plenty of levels in there. Let's not get the area more congested. And you have some moving averages on here. Maybe you can mark down this moving average in case we lose that previous day close. And that 221.14, and actually now that I placed at 221.14, you can see several days hitting that. So again, we'll mark that down on there. But again, hopefully, I would like to see Apple go up and take a crack at this 230, because the few times we've done these pops to try to get above that, we have had some really clean moves right off the open. Check out some of Norm's recaps. You're gonna see how he trades his stock when it's in play. And he takes those nice entries early on in the open. So here we have Nvidia. Let's remove some of the levels we have now. Nvidia also stuck in this consolidation range right here with some nasty candles. Got this one up here doing nothing. Had a great day yesterday for a short. Was just amazing. Right now opening up 1.7 this morning towards the green side, 109. So towards the top, guys, you have your your high from yesterday. You have what's this one here? Your pre-market high is right on this. I'm not going to mark that. Then you have your low from 2 days ago and your high. So right in here, you have plenty of levels towards the top, towards the bottom, previous day close, low from yesterday. You can add the low of this consolidation range right here, 172, right? So you see the consolidation happening here, constantly hitting that 172, and then you have this nice pop. So we're stuck within two ranges. This one here, the shorter one, and then also this one here, kind of the bigger time frame. Every time it went below 172, notice how it just bounced back up, right? Two reasons. It could be this level here, this 172, which I think it is because you have some days that did not go below that. And you also have a nice moving average on here as well, 170. So again, just keep that in mind. I think NVIDIA is a good one to watch today, and hopefully we get the volume, right? A lot of these stocks are just missing the volume. SDC could be a good possible, guys. If you like watching these IPOs, I personally don't like to watch them. I like to have a little more history. I like the fact that we do have shares for short, though. I mean, if anything, if this thing loses the previous day close, it can definitely go for a run. The last level it had down here before it dropped on yesterday was 1261, right? So it held 1261 for about 7 days. Then it came back to test it, and you can see the nice, beautiful drops just running right through that level, creating one at 11. There's nothing here towards the bottom. Obviously, all-time low, given it's a recent IPO. So everything is going to be towards the top for you. Just mark down this 1261. I don't think you need to mark anymore because you don't have any more to mark down here, right? No more information on there. MBT. I'm gonna remove this one, guys. The daily looks interesting. I like the pop here, right? Up 5.6. But I'm looking at this pre-market activity. I'm not seeing where they're getting this volume. So again, the pre-market activity is not showing me anything great at all. You know what? Let's do this. We'll mark the levels, And then I'm not going to keep it. We have 535 high as the pre-market. We have 850 on the top up here. 850 is nice too. You got a nice consolidation here on the daily on 850, so that's a good area. Then above that we have 872, right? Just in case this thing wants to surprise us, we'll be ready. Towards the bottom you have your lows and highs from the last 2 trading days right here between 815 around 790ish, so that's an area there. And then towards the bottom it's a big drop here, right towards the low of the pre-market. Let's see if we could find something clean in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing. See, the daily's not all that clean in there. I'll say 820. But I'm not gonna mark it. It's too much traffic in here. I just don't like the way it looks. Your clean levels are this one here, clearly this one here. You can see that, and then your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So let's just keep that. And if we can get some volume and get this going, I think that's gonna make it pretty nice. All right, so IRBT. This one here is it's got no volume right now. It's got a nice daily dropping nicely here. 52.58 the low of the pre-market. 55.31 is your high of your pre-market. And if we go back, we are all-time lows with this. We might be scraping that all-time low. No, we're not. So we're going back pretty far now. 2016. You can see here 52.68, 55.31 high of your pre-market. Towards the bottom, if it drops, we can mark down 51. I think 51. You can see here an area where you have some consolidation happening. I think that would be a good one to mark towards the bottom. So we'll have 51. And then also, if this thing decides to drop again right now, look at the volume, guys. It's not doing much. So we need to wait for this to hit our scanners. We can look for this to hit, and when it hits 52, 51, 50, all those whole dollar numbers, you want to be careful with that if this thing decides to go for a run. Overall, the ATR on this one seems, what is the ATR? That's $2. So it's not a bad ATR, guys. This thing does move, but we just don't have the volume at the moment. Here's Levi. Levi's again, has some good volume yesterday. You can see a nice little drop here. Let's just go back and see how actually it traded yesterday. Let's look at the 5. So yesterday, actually, this looks good without looking at the actual price action and how it actually was moving. The range looks nice, right? It looks very clean. Nice double top here. Nice open range breakdown. Loses VWAP, and we like to see the retest. Get the retest, and then it keeps dropping. Again, not sure how much of the market created this here, but overall this chart looks pretty good yesterday, and you can tell because you have a nice candle on the daily, right? Usually you don't have that. You have some really nasty candles here. You have some good ones right on here, but again, usually the most part you don't get that type of move. So if we can break out of the low of yesterday here, this can become an interesting play. We do have an area right here at 1784. Towards the bottom, obviously, clearly it's not going to get all the way down here, but you never know. 1610 is a clear level of support. And in here, you do have an area of consolidation, because I think that's a big drop. I don't think you're going to get that drop just in one nice smooth swing. So 1832 seems an area of resistance here. And then you have a lot of crap on here. So again, not all that clean, but you have here, you have a bounce right in this area here, area of resistance. So I'm going off of these two. This thing in here is, it's not clean. So that's what we have there. Towards the top, guys, plenty of highs and lows and levels of resistance up here, so you don't need to mark anymore. It looks short bias for me at the moment, but again, we'll have to wait for volume to come in, because right now the volume is only at 50K. J&J starting to get going here. Okay, starting to get a little bounce out of J&J. 41,000 shares traded, still missing some volume, but you can see some candles and some buyers are starting to appear here. So low of your pre-market sitting at 128.50. So we'll mark that down. Clear level down here at 126. I'm gonna mark the high of the pre-market though. It looks like we might be breaking that pretty soon. High of your pre-market sitting at 130.35. So we'll see how that goes. And above that, you have the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, moving averages, previous day close up here in this range. So again, not a fan of this one right now, and I'm probably not going to keep it on my list. This will be a possible for this morning. OCGN, this is the low flow that's moving today on the lower side, not really low flow, but again, I'm not gonna watch this one. This just looks too nasty, guys. All right, so that is what we have, guys. Let's go through this again one more time, and let me know if you guys have found anything that looks great, that has some possible volume. BP, yeah, someone mentioned BP earlier as well. Let's take a look at it. So BP is a foreign stock. That's why I don't like BP. We have looked at it in the past because it has some time where a lot of these were all in play. They all had some news and they were gapping up. But again, it doesn't trade very well. And today, on a day like today where the volume is light, I'll be even extra careful with this one. So look at the pre-market activity, not clean, right? So you have a lot of choppiness going on here. And then look at the daily chart overall. It's also not very clean on here. So again, not one that I'm going to be watching today. What else we have, guys? SDC. I think SDC, we had SDC, right? Didn't we? Yeah, we have SDC here. So SDC we do have on watch. We'll fine tune the list in a second or two. Let's look at BABA. Yeah, BABA's got some volume. It's up 1.4. Should be hitting our scanners. We do have some levels from yesterday on this already. I don't like the way BABA trades. And you got a taste of that yesterday. I mean, look at this here. We had a great pre-market activity and then just had this nasty chop going on here. Let's see how JD traded yesterday as well. See how that looks on the 5. Not as clean, but cleaner than BABA, that's for sure. But again, BABA is a tough stock to trade, guys. This is why I don't really. I had it on my list yesterday, but I didn't touch it. What we have over here? So. Yeah, thank you, Caesar. Yeah, absolutely. MBT, gap of 5%, massive volume, MBT. Yeah, I see the volume. MBT 784. I'm just not seeing a good pre-market activity. So we have it on here. We did our levels for this. We're ready to go on it. And we'll see as we get closer to 930. Hopefully this gets a little better. But yeah, this does have some volume, 784. But I'm not seeing that on a good, clean pre-market activity. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix, all right, Netflix starting to get some movement here, looks like. Yeah, Netflix could be interesting. Any news out on Netflix that's causing this this move has no volume though, right? As of yet, let's see. Right, so we can keep an eye on it. So there's some activity happening there on Netflix. We'll see what we get out of that. Only 68,000 at the moment. All right, so they got a downgrade. Okay, that could be interesting to watch. See how that develops. All right, guys. So let's just go through this list one more time. Yeah, DWT is one that, again, I don't trade. It's more of a market play. So you really got to have a little bit of fundamentals of what's going on with the market. I don't put this on my watches and try to get like an ABCD pattern. You got to know what's going on a little bit. Before you take on these type of tickers. This one, DWT, UGAS, and all of those. You really got to just have a little bit of fundamentals of what the market is doing, some upgrades, downgrades, or just what's happening in that area, in that field. So again, I don't have these on my watches, but Brian is really good at these. You know, he trades these all the time. I personally don't trade these. FYFE we looked at again. I think it's just not clean, guys. I mean, we have 69,000 shares traded. It is up 4.3, but just the pre-market activity is not clean. Looking at the daily, you can tell that this does not trade very well at all neither. So I'm just gonna stay away from this one at the moment. CRWD. This is one that has been active. It's been on a tear the last couple of days. Found a bottom here around 50. What's that? 51. Yeah, 51.69, and it's up at 67. So it's been a nice little tear here over the last couple of days. We had in our watches a few days out of here. It could be possible for a continuation, right? It's kind of getting into a consolidation now. Had a nice big day on this was Monday, I believe. So again, it could be a good continuation, but I'll wait for this one to hit our scanners. Right now, it's not looking all that great. All right, so I think we have plenty. Let's go through our list. So we have Roku on here. Again, Roku looks good for a possible pop at the moment, even for a drop, as long as he can give us a nice clean play. So I like this one here. DBVT. This one has a clean pre-market action, but I know this one is foreign, doesn't trade very well. So I'm just going to put it down here as a possible. Again, it's not a great stock to trade. We'll take that one off. Let's see AMD. I'm going to keep an eye on AMD. Starting to get some movement here, so that's good. Here is MU. So I'll watch MU on a day like today. Again, day like today, guys, you got to be very patient. Not a lot looks great when it comes to volume. Apple, I'm going to watch, and NVIDIA, I'm definitely going to watch. SDC. What do we do with SDC? You know what? I do have shares for short on it, so it could be interesting for a short. MBT, guys, I'm just not seeing the volume, so I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm just not seeing what that volume is coming in. IRBT. I can watch this one for a possible. Levi's I'm going to take off. It's just not great at that one. Johnson & Johnson starting to get going, but the volume is so light. I'm going to get rid of it. Netflix. What do we do with Netflix? Oh, volume is light too. You know what, guys? We have to trust our scanners today. We can't watch all this stuff expecting the volume to come in. So let's just watch the best ones. Yeah, let's just watch the best ones. And then we have to trust our scanners to do their job. And points in the right direction if something happens that it looks interesting. So here's my final list so far: Roku, AMD, MU, Apple, Nvidia, SDC, IRBT. I'm gonna take off, guys, just to have the volume. That's got to come up in the scanners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. We got some good ones, some good old buddies here of stuff that we are used to watching. We know how they trade. If they get the volume, they could be some good opportunities there. Norm, anything that we missed?
No, man. Like you said, I'm gonna work on my patience today. One thing you learn doing this for a while, day in and day out, is you got to take what the market gives to you. It's part of the reason that I quit having a daily goal.
Yeah.
And if I was trying to make $400 in a day, let's say, and it's just one of the days when the market's not going to do much, or maybe it does something, but it does it later for some catalyst that we don't know of right now. My number one is to be patient and take what the market gives to me and not give it back to the market.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned a great point. Having that daily goal, it's good, right? Because if you hit your daily goal, you don't want to keep trading, but trying to hit that daily goal in a day where things are not happening could be disastrous. So just keep that in mind. It's a double-edged sword. You got to use it. Got to use it wisely. All right, guys. So that's what we have: Roku, AMD, MU, Apple, Nvidia, and SDC. Let's see what we can get out of this. And I'm going to be looking at my scanners. I'm going to wait for 5 or 15 minute. First, looking for that 5-minute opening range breakup. See what that gives us, and then I'm looking for that 15-minute breakup or breakdown. SAP just popped up into our scanners. We're just going to quickly take a look at it before we sign off. SAP is tough to trade, guys. Really tough to trade. So not much going on here. It's got some volume, but again, it's a stock that I'm not gonna mess with this morning.
It's a German company. It goes right back to what we talk about. It trades on NYSE. It's a German company, and it can be spready at times. Doesn't have a ton of order flow usually, so it's one of those things I'll not be watching probably either.
Yep, exactly. Guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Take care. Have a great day, and we will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. Trade safe, guys.
Take care, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow morning.